Welcome back. Now the lineup features Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi and Penelope Youngleson's award-winning A Man and a Dog, Linda Tshabalala's Books and Boxes, and Men Up by Mark Tatham. Thus the So Solo 2017 festival, which kicked off at the Wits Theatre on Wednesday and runs until the 8th of October. And according to its creator, the festival offers audiences a diversity of thought-provoking theatrical experiences from some of South Africa's most talented actors. The So Solo festival is the brainchild of the director of the Wits Theatre Gita Pather, who joins us now to unpack this year's edition. A very good morning to you, Gita. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome.
Thank you.
Now, take us back to 2013 when you first had the idea of a festival that celebrates one-handers or one-person plays, and what inspired that?
Well, you know, I began to notice that across the board, people were producing, or artists were producing, shows that did not require a major ensemble or a cast. I think it was largely driven by economic factors. Okay. There's a lot of funding for the arts, but a lot of it goes to institutions. Yeah. And so individual artists who are not part of funded arts companies find themselves having to create work that will ultimately pay their rents. Yeah. And I thought, you know, at Wits University, we do a professional performing arts degree, and it seemed prudent to create a festival that focused on the one-man show. Right. And I have to say that I think it's one of the most powerful forms of art and theatre, you know, and storytelling.
Yeah, and the festival is now in its 4th year. Yes. Take us through how the festival has evolved over the years. Are you happy with the progress so far?
Absolutely. I think, you know, Johannesburg is a wonderful city because its citizens, you know, are happy to encompass the different, the new, the slightly at the edge. And the So Solo Festival, by virtue of being oftentimes solo performances or performers will draw on their most intimate, their own experiences. And even though these stories are quite personal, they kind of reflect the diversity of our country. They're also stories that have been neglected and will not get told in a big cast. And so the festival, for me, continues to reflect the current themes. You know, I don't choose plays around themes, but every year a theme emerges, and I think that's because artists respond to society.
And what are you most proud of?
I have to say I love the commissioned work. You know, in the first year we had the cenotaph of Danwa Mariri with Tony Miyambo. The second year, Penny with Zetu Dlomo and Momo Matsunyana. Last year, Raisin Wentworth and Dominique Gumede. And this year, again, like a whodunit story. I love the commissioned pieces because it allows me to kind of back talent. Very few theatres are producing plays that invest in young artists primarily. And so that is the aspect of the theatre, you know, the festival that I think I enjoy best.
Yeah. And how do you select the productions that will headline the festival?
I think all artistic directors, if they're honest, will admit that it's very personal. There's no democracy. I'd like to think that I keep my finger on the pulse of what's happening. I watch a lot of theatre, and people approach me, and obviously, you know, there are some people that I believe need to be nurtured, and as heads of institutions, it is our responsibility to find them and back them. And a festival like this allows them a platform. Yeah.
Now, Gita, you've chosen stories that reflect the huge diversity of experience and the reality for this year's festival. Take us through that.
Well, today, for example, you have Man Up, which is Mark Tatham's play, directed by David Geddes. And it's a story about Brian Mitchell and the gym culture. But it also goes to the heart of identity. What makes a man? Is it the muscle and the machismo, or is it something else? And when people envelop the stereotype, does it in any way kind of, you know, neglect the real human being behind the man? Right. I think women have a chance to tell their stories. And this afternoon, Mkhwanazi is Moch. is about just that. There are lots of vaginas, and Kokosmoeg is one of them. My cursed vagina on the festival. And I think it's because of personal stories. Tracks, for example, by Maud Sandham, the commissioned work, is about the secret in her family. And I don't want to give the story away because I hope everyone buys tickets to come and see it. But there again, you know, her story is also our story. And I think what's wonderful about finding these plays is, yes, we are diverse, and the performers and the writers come from very diverse backgrounds.
And speaking of diversity, identity is a very predominant theme at this year's festival. Why did you decide to take this route?
Well, I didn't. I think that what happens each year is a theme emerges. And that is because artists respond to their society.
Sure.
And I think South Africa is in a constant state of flux. I mean, every time you put on the television, you know, there's a new story. And people are attempting to locate themselves in a society that changes from moment to moment. And I think what happens is that as a result, artists write these stories. And identity is key. Who am I? What is my role? Where are we going? Because where you're going, in many ways, parallels the story of our country.
The story of our country, exactly.
Yes.
All right, Gita, great chatting to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
All right, that is Gita Pather. She's the director of Wits Theatre, speaking to us about the So Solo Fest 2017 festival, which runs until the 8th of October. Now, the festival, which is in its 4th year, offers audiences a diversity of thought-provoking theatrical experiences from some of South Africa's most talented actors. All right, Pearl, what you got for us?